Hi, welcome to the show, everyone. This is Katrina Sawa, the Jumpstart Your Biz Coach with jumpstartyourmarketing.com. And this is my Jumpstart Your Business Now radio show. And this is a special edition. This week, I'm actually videotaping the show as well as giving you a solo show. And what that means is this is a in-depth free training for you business owners out there. And the topic today is all about leveraged group programs, how to run them, launch them, and even participate in them so you can jumpstart your business. And so for those of you watching the video, I don't normally do my radio show on video, so bear with me if I'm not always looking straight at the camera. And for those of you on the radio show live, thanks for being here. And if you're regular listeners, you're going to really like this show. My focus of the show is to help business owners make smarter marketing and business decisions, giving you tools, tips, information, and resources to help you start, grow, and market your business and ultimately take it in the direction of a 6+ figure business. And I normally bring in a guest who helps me, who shares really how they've jump-started their business, some marketing strategies that are working for them. And I love to bring in guests in different industries, not just coaching, because that way I know there's a lot more different businesses out there. And for what I'm going to be talking about today, it's good for any type of business as well. People in home improvement industry, in the spas and salons, healers. I don't care what industry you're in, you definitely want to listen in today to this show, because we're going to cover some different things that you thought maybe not possible for you in your industry. And I want to get you thinking a little bit bigger than where you are right now as far as where you can take your business, where you can take your income, and how to really get there. So today's program, if you are still only doing one-on-one services as a business model in your business, I highly recommend you consider adding some different leverage business models this coming year. It doesn't have to be a lot of them, maybe just one thing you might add, just to see how the people that you're talking to will respond when you create something different and new. And it can be something totally different than what other people in your industry are doing. Keep in mind that just because it's not being done in your industry doesn't mean that you don't see, doesn't mean it's not being done somewhere across the country or in a different country. And if you can just open your brain a little bit to what else is possible, I think you'll see that there's going to be ways that you can leverage your time, your expertise, your skill set, and develop a new stream of income for yourself. So if you I want to share which business models are working right now and which aren't the best. You're going to find out and learn about what else is possible for your business to do this coming year, how you could tweak a few things to get better response, to work less, or even make more money. And then I'm going to share with you about a program that I'm doing. I've revamped my Live Big Mastermind program this year. It's completely different. It's got everything in the kitchen sink pretty much in it that you can imagine for a really great, reasonable price, because it's going to be my main focus for 2014. And I'm very excited to talk to people about it. You can find out more information on the Live Big Mastermind at livebigmastermind.com. And any of my other coaching programs, just go to jumpstartyourmarketing.com/coaching, and you can find out everything that we're doing, although things are changing in the next couple months. But definitely while you're there, if you're not already getting my email newsletters, definitely sign up, because I do videos once a week on different topics, kind of like this, but little short videos to help you jumpstart your business, your marketing, yourself, and all kinds of things. So, all right, so let's dive into what I want to talk to you about today, which is why leverage, who can leverage in your business, options for leveraging in your business, and then getting help to plan your leverage strategies. Okay, but first, some of you might be new to my show. Some of you may not have necessarily heard about me yet, or if you're just finding me on YouTube, since this video is now going to be on YouTube and it's going to be on social sites. People call me typically the Jumpstart Your Biz Coach, because because I literally love to help people kick them into high gear. And I don't want to mess around with people who want to take a year to implement an email newsletter. Okay, I want to get you moving quickly with the consistent, leveraged business lead generation strategies that you need to do in order to grow your business. Frankly, I mean, nobody does enough marketing, period. So if you think you're doing enough marketing, yet you're not seeing the results and the income that you want, then you need to look at your marketing because you're probably just not reaching enough people, to be honest. There's about 20 different marketing strategies that I teach with clients in my programs and products and services that I offer. And we pick the right ones that are right for you. You know, some people that have a retail establishment need to do certain things, whereas some people that are more online based could do different strategies. But a lot of them will flow together, and all of them relate to relationship marketing. So it's all about building more relationships with more of your ideal prospects and referral sources in order to drive more business and referrals on a regular basis. Plain and simple. There's just more ways to do it these days. And you really do have to be in more than one or two, three different strategies. You have to be doing more than a few things to really get the exposure, the visibility, and the results that you're looking for from your marketing. So I love helping people get all that stuff in place, systematize it in your business, in your back end, in your website, and to make things run smoother, like a smooth running business money making machine. That's what the goal is with me for my clients. So that's what I love to do, is find the holes in the opportunities. If you've been in business for a long time, you may not see that there's huge opportunities with your website or your marketing, that if you just made one little tweak or one little change or added one little thing, you could see huge income boosts in your cash flow. So I really recommend you stick around, listen up, and then definitely watch this show on a regular basis. Go check out more videos of mine and sign up, and maybe come and even talk to me in a complimentary strategy session so we can find out, how we can help you. Because it doesn't have to be the mastermind. It can be one-on-one. It can be some other virtual training program that might help you or serve you depending on where you're at. So I just really recommend you reach out and get some support, and at least come and talk to me. I'm not scary. In fact, I'm very low pressure too. I don't want to work with anybody who doesn't really want to work with me. So you can find out all about that at the livebigmastermind.com page, and how to talk to me and all that. But today, let's talk about why leverage. Why leverage in your business? So let's see. One of my friends wrote an email today. It's funny. I was just going to do this call. My friend Nakia Davida, and she wrote an email. She's actually part of a summit, one of those telesummits online, and it's all about group programs. And the reason we leverage is because it saves you time. It can actually make you more money because you're working less. You're working with groups of people in one way or the other instead of one-on-one all the time. Or you're creating something that can sell over and over and over and over again without you being there. So it's leveraging your time. It's increasing your reach and your status. When you leverage something in your business, whether it's creating a product, a virtual program, even a live event, in any way, you can reach out to more people globally or nationally to get clients from all over the place rather than just in your local area. And that means for any type of business, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples of types of businesses in just a second. It can provide a high value, lower cost service. So if some people are balking at your rates, you don't want to lower your rates for one-on-one. You actually might want to raise your rates for one-on-one, and then develop a leverage program or service or something you can do with a group that you can actually charge a lower price for. So that way there's options for people at different levels in the prospect stage. Some people might be able to invest with you at a high level. Some people might not be able to and need something lower. And if you don't have anything lower and you discount your rates just to compensate for those people, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're actually undervaluing yourself. So I don't want you to do that. So we want to figure out ways you can leverage. The reasons why people don't necessarily leverage are they don't feel like they have a big enough list. Well, I need more than a couple hundred people on my list in order to do any kind of group program because nobody's going to sign up, right? And that's not necessarily true if you have a really responsive list. You may not know how to market to groups of people. You may not know how to create this kind of program or how to run it online with online forums or conference lines or, different ways to get the information information out. You may never have done a live event before, and you don't know what's all entailed and how to save money doing a live event. You know, you have to book the venue and the audio visual, and do I bring in food? And there's a lot of questions involved with doing live events, and I love to help people create those. I've done a lot myself. I've made some big mistakes, made some very costly mistakes with live events. So I don't want you to do those exact mistakes. I want to catch you before you do that. And sometimes people doubt themselves as far as they're not good enough yet, or they're just starting in a business. How can they, be the expert yet? Or you have to start with an introductory rate. You can't jack your rates up yet. And that's all myths, okay? If you are an expert and people see you as an expert, you can charge whatever the heck you want. And as long as you're bringing the value, people will pay it as long as they see the value. That's really the key. And then another reason why people don't necessarily do leverage group programs is they just aren't marketing enough, so they aren't sure how to fill it. They don't know what to do. And so that's the thing I love to do, is help you figure out the how to make all this happen. So who can build leverage programs? I have a roofing company, for example, so you wouldn't think a roofing company, they build roofs, right? You go out, you do an estimate, you get a job, you do a roof. You go out and do an estimate, you get a job, you do a roof. You can see some different leveraged marketing strategies, like doing home shows and things like that. But what if I have a client who is making over $1 million in her contracting roofing company, and they do a few other things too. Now she's interested in, it's a husband-wife team. The husband's the one in the business, out in the field, and she's the one in the office with all the great ideas on the marketing. She's actually now thinking of sharing that in a business model with other contractors, showing contractors how to build $1 million contracting business. So it's a train the trainer type of a thing, right? So she can create a virtual program or a live program in person in her hometown and get different contractors and show them how to market better, how to get their website up. I mean, she totally transformed her whole entire marketing strategy and sales strategy on how they were presenting their services when out on doing bids. So a roofing company is a great example. You wouldn't think that can do a group program. A floral designer, right? You think, okay, they make flowers, especially for wedding flower designer. I had a client once, years ago, who was tired. She was getting older and she didn't want to go out every weekend and do these weddings and create, flowers for the weddings, the boutonnieres, the bouquets, the corsages for the weddings. And she was just getting tired. She didn't want to book herself solid with weddings every weekend. She wanted to go travel and enjoy it with her husband, right? So she created an online do-it-yourself wedding flower guide, and we videotaped her doing all the different types of flower arrangements that you need for a wedding. She has a book of resources with pictures, and it all comes in a nice handy little thing that can be emailed. She doesn't have to serve, she doesn't have to do anything. There's no group program. It's just a create one time and maybe update and revise every couple of years, and then just market it out online. Now, she didn't know how to market it online, right? So once we created it, we had to show her the online marketing strategies because she was used to the local business strategies. But it's actually something very simple someone can learn, and you can even get help doing if you're not too savvy online and you don't want to do that stuff. So there's always a way, is my point. Another third example would be an image consultant. Okay, you would think, okay, an image consultant needs to come to my house and look in my closets and tell me what to wear and tell me what to do with my hair and makeup and all this stuff. But there are ways to do that virtually. She wrote a book, she became a speaker, she travels all over the country, and now people actually fly her in, pay for her to fly in and do their closets personally. But she can also teach in a group over video and Skype and different ways to see people's closets virtually and do them in a group program as well. So that would apply for an image consultant, an interior designer, something similar, an organizer. I have an organizer client who does the same thing. I have an interior designer who could do the same thing. She's not there yet, but we're working on it. So there's all kinds of ways to leverage your expertise and your time. I have a massage therapist who you would think, okay, well, she's only going to make money if she books massages, right? She ended up actually getting really lofty goals and buying a meta spa, and she's had a few different spas along the way, and then she got so good at her marketing and filling her spa and appointments that she then became a marketing consultant for other spas and salons. So she sold her spa, and now she does marketing for spas and salons, and she kicks butt. And she does all your email and all your postcards and all your flyers and all your local advertising and everything you need, your websites, in order to make spas and salons really a smooth running marketing and money making machine. So those are just a few examples of types of businesses that you wouldn't think could leverage their time and their expertise, could have multiple clients or multiple groups running and teaching them different things. And sometimes it really comes down to your own confidence, frankly, to do these things, because you think, who am I to do this? Or you think, oh my gosh, how are they going to get the value if it's virtual? Or, am I good enough? Or I'm too new? Or how much is this really worth? Or what will people really pay? And we work through that actually in the mastermind and the coaching that I do, because confidence is the biggest thing. If you don't have the confidence, you won't do the marketing, and you won't sell the programs, products, or services at the right price points either. You will undervalue yourself, and you will do things for free just to try to get in the door, rather than establishing yourself as the expert and charging the right rates that you're worth, and really getting out there and doing the business that you really want to do the way you want to do it. The goal is to build this business around the kind of life you want to live, rather than fitting your life in around your really busy schedule when you book yourself solid. So we want you to think a little bit outside the box. This is the goal for today, is thinking a little bit outside the box. What else can you do? Now let's talk about the different options on how to leverage. I mentioned a few of the different business models that you could potentially do. A train the trainer, where you're doing something so well that now you go and teach it to other people that are doing what you do. Okay, and you can teach them in a group. You can have classes live in your local area, and then you can also have them online. You can have them on a video or a webcast like this. You can have them on an interactive Google Hangout where you can get up to 10 people interacting live on video. You can have them over Skype. You can have them on a conference line where you can talk to people and you don't have to show a video. You can have them on a webinar where if you need to show visuals like before and after pictures or some kind of graphs or charts or checklists, you might want to use a PowerPoint presentation and do it on a webinar. And you can make that interactive so they can see the webinar as well. There's so many different ways to do a group class or a group training. And then everything you do, you record. And then once you record it, it becomes your home study kit. I mean, it can be that simple. And granted, I'm going to tell you, the reality is a lot of people come to me these days and they're like, well, I just need to create my back-end product, my signature product. And I want to sell it for $500 and it's going to be this. And I'm creating the curriculum for it right now. And I'm like, stop. First of all, usually they come to me when they really need to make a lot of money and they need to make money fast. And granted, one-on-one coaching or one-on-one services are usually the fastest path to cash for most people. Okay, so if you need cash, you need one-on-one, or you need a live or class or group program where you can charge more because they have access to you. Those boxed programs that you want to sell, to be honest, a lot of my, friends just aren't selling, including myself. They're just not selling as quickly as we'd like and as quickly as they did about 5 or 6 years ago. When the internet started really getting going and people could buy stuff online, they would fly off your website, click to buy, click to buy, click to buy all day long. It's because it was interesting, it was new. And now people are overloaded with free teleclasses and ebooks and downloads and this, and they're just overloaded, so they're not buying as much because they can get so much for free already. So I don't want you to rely on the product sales to provide your income yet, okay? But it is something you want to do. It's something you want to do as a group program and then record it and then make it your box program. But don't spend a lot of time creating that box program unless you have a really, really, really active list and niche. Like I have, for example, a client who sells turbans for women who've gone through cancer and lost their hair. And she has a very niche, ideal target target niche, right? People who have lost their hair. They want to wear the turbans or the head wraps around their head. It's also good for motorcyclists, women in motorcycles who want to, not have motorcycle head when they go on rides and stuff like that, which I've been on and experienced, and it could be very useful. So my point is, her niche is so fine-tuned, right? She needs people who are going through or gone through cancer, who want to, really take care of their scalp and their head. So if you have more of a broad target market, it is a little bit harder to get those people to buy the back end products, okay? Unless you're in person with them. If you're in person, they tend to buy more. In person is always better. Anytime you can get as a speaker or even a vendor or an attendee at a live event or conference or trade show, I highly recommend those types of marketing strategies. So some other types of leverage business models besides the live classes, we talked about, there's video training. Video actually sells a little bit higher than just the ebook or the audio program. So if you're going to sell an online program, if you could figure out how to do a video course or an e-course like that with video, I think you'll see better results. But the goal with leverage programs, products, and services is to serve one-to-many rather than just one-on-one. So I really encourage you to think a little bit outside the box. What else can you create? What else can you do? Another form of one-to-many rather than just a short-term, let's talk about group programs here for a minute. There's the group programs that will have a start and stop date. Like you have a 90-day program or a 6-week class, and it starts this day and it ends this day, right? It goes for 6 weeks or it goes for 90 days every Wednesday or whatever it is, right? Those are the start-stop date group programs. Those are a great strategy for many people. You do need a launch period. So you can't just say, okay, I'm going to start a group program and it's going to start next week, and then start trying to tell people about it. There's not enough lead time to usually sell a group program that's a start-stop date, okay? So you do want to give yourself a launch period. And launch periods vary depending on how long the program is, how much the program is that you're trying to sell. If it's 500 or less, you might just need, 3 weeks, maybe 2, maybe. If it's a couple thousand or you might need a little bit longer to sell. And you'll definitely, if it's a few $1,000s of a group program, you're going to probably need to sell that on the phone, most likely. Most people need to have some kind of sales conversations with you in order to plunk down that type of money. It's just not the norm to click and buy anymore for a couple $1,000s unless someone's a real fan or follower of you. Which, definitely if that's you, then great. You could probably send out a few emails and get some sales. But for the majority of people out there, you're going to have to do phone calls most likely to sell something over $1,000. In which case, it's always good to have a this or that option. If you're on the phone with somebody and they want your help in whatever way, you can offer the one-on-one if you want to, or you have this service over here, and then you have the leverage program over here. This one's a lot more, this one's less expensive. Which one do you want, right? And you're going to go through the same process or learn the same things or discover this or go through the, same system or whatnot. Either way you go, it's just a matter of, do you want it one-on-one or do you want it in a group format? Right? I always ask people what their learning style is when I talk to them on the phone. A lot of people's learning style is that they need to be told what to do exactly. They need to be walked through step by step, hand by hand through someone's process. They want to have access. I was just talking with a client before the show today who her main concern was getting in with the Live Big Mastermind this coming year with me is that she wanted feedback and critiques on her website, her speeches, and the marketing materials and things that she's creating for the new target audience and programs that she's creating for next year. And I said, no problem. It's included. Unlimited critiques, feedback, and emails and calls with me is all included in that mastermind, by the way. I know it seems amazing and it seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's because this is the one program I want to focus on this year. So we talked about start-stop programs where they start at one time and end at another. There's also a lot of people run annual programs, okay, which would end either in a when you decide to launch them. Mine's launching in November and December through the 2014 year. And some people run them from event to event, where they have a live event, which I do have coming up in April and November of 2014, where I will be also launching additional enrollment for the mastermind at those times. But for right now, my annual period is from now until this year time next year. So you could have an annual program. You do need some ramp up. I would say 2 months ramp up to fill that kind of a program, or a live event where people are experiencing you for 2 or 3 days at a time. When people can experience you for a longer training, where they're getting you and getting access to you and really experiencing you, then they're usually more inclined to invest at a higher level with you and for a longer period of time. When it's just a 20 or 30 minute talk, it's a low investment or a low commitment usually is what they're willing to do right off the bat for the most part. So you've got your annual programs, and they're all over the board on what they charge and what's included. So definitely check around and make sure you look at some different options so you're not getting into the wrong program at the wrong time in your business. A lot of people jump into a more advanced program when they're newer, and then they get lost and left behind, and they don't get the one-on-one or access that they need to really help them get the nitty-gritty stuff in place. And so I see that all the time. So just be careful with that. My program would not leave you behind. I'm going to push you and pull you along the whole way. The other type of program that's a leverage program is more of a membership model. It's a continuity model. And that model is great for, really, it's usually the lower end of your funnel. So it's a lower price program, product, or service. I've seen them as low as $1 a month. I've seen them at $10 a month or $6 a month, as well as 20 or 25 and then 50 and $100 a month. I don't see a whole lot of membership models that are over $100 a month. Those tend to be more in the higher level. If you get into more of a mastermind program, there could be a monthly fee for that. So the continuity is typically somewhere between $5 and $100 a month. And then you can provide various levels of access to you. You could provide various types of resources, such as open Q&A calls. You could provide training. You could provide guest calls where you bring in outside speakers to come and talk to your group. You could provide video trainings, audio trainings, downloadables. You could do... I have one client who does, she's a shaman. She actually does a whole shaman journey on her calls on a daily basis. So there's some people that provide text message marketing or text messages and motivational inspirations every day via text. There's all kinds of different memberships that someone could run. So I don't care what kind of business that you have. You could do a membership program. You just have to think about what you're going to provide. What do the people want that maybe aren't buying your higher level service or product right now? But if you had a lower level investment membership, and you provided certain things, what would that look like? How much would they be willing to pay? I'm actually getting ready to launch a brand new membership starting in December as well. That's going to transform the current continuity model that I have, which is my Silver Mentor program. I've been running that program since for about 7 years, and it's just it's time to evolve it. It's time to evolve it. I want something fresh. I think the members want something fresh, and so I'm going to provide a really high access program at a lower cost as well. So I'm going to have the mastermind, I'm going to have the membership, and some VIP days, and that's really how I plan on evolving my business in this coming year. So hopefully this is a half an hour, and I talk really fast, and I'm a high mover kind of a person, but I want you to take away, by working with me, you don't have to move this fast, first of all. You also don't have to be as outgoing and extroverted as I am. We can create things around your introverted personalities. I have lots of introverted clients, but I definitely can help you whether you're a driver and a motivator and an outgoing kind of person or not. We can figure it out. We can figure it out what type of industry you're in, what type of life you want to live. Do you want to come home and be able to spend time with your family more? Then great. I really want to help you wherever you are to wherever you want to be and figure out some new ways to leverage yourself in the process and your expertise so that you can enjoy life more. You don't have to work so hard. We can systematize some things, automate some marketing, and really build a better, more profitable business for yourself that you love. That is my goal. So I would love to talk with you. There is a little form on the page for the mastermind that just asks for your name, phone number, and email. If you want to talk to me about this, there's no obligation to sign up for anything, but I seriously, if you're considering some kind of coaching program or mentor or mastermind right now, you want to check out my program. All the details are on that page. Just go to livebigmastermind.com and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks for sharing with me on this radio show today. It was fun.